people, welcome to my show, The Wonder of Language. Every time when I'm trying to transmit some information, I try that information is useful for you. Today I'm going to talk about second language acquisition learning, which is so interesting because at first I didn't know about that. Well, some children have the privilege of growing up in a suitable environment to acquire their second language as their first language. Okay, I noticed that though some children have that opportunity, have that advantage, or yes, have that advantage of acquire a second language, but I think that most people have not had that opportunity, because most of us are not exposed to a second language until much later. That was my case. I want to share with you the difference between foreign language and second language because I didn't know. And what is foreign language about? Well, it's learning a language. Foreign language is learning a language that is not generally spoken in the surrounding community. Okay. What is about second language? Second language is learning a language that is spoken. Okay, that is spoken in the surrounded community. And let me think about an example. Okay, imagine a group of Japanese students. Okay, imagine that is Japanese students in an English class in Japan. They are learning English as a foreign language. Why? Because they aren't in an English environment, right? They are learning EFL. Imagine this other scenario. If those same students were in an English class in the USA, United States of America, they could be learning English as a second language. Why? Because they are learning English in an environment English. Okay, that means that they are going to have more experiences with the language. A learner studying in an English speaking country may have more success. Why? Because the language they acquire in their part-time job than with the language they learn in their class. That means they are going to have more experience. Okay, and that helps them a lot. Remember that as a second language acquisition, learning a non-native language after the first language can be difficult at first. It will be difficult, it will be hard sometimes because it's not your first language, it's not your mother tongue. Acquisition, what is acquisition about? Well, acquisition describes development that someone has gradually and over time of ability in language. Okay, and by using naturally when they are trying to share information, when they are trying to speak with others who know the language. And when I think in acquisition, I instantly think in naturally. Okay, something that you learn naturally, or that you have instantly. Acquisition normally takes place without a teacher. Okay, and without much attention or much resources, okay, what is being or details of what is being used. Why? Because as I mentioned before, it's something natural that you don't need to work hard to have it, okay. And the opposite, language learning, happens upon direct instructions and explanations and resources and material and rules, okay, and some exceptions. And that is the difference between acquisition and learning language. In language learning, people um, are aware of the learning concept, and they intentionally learning because they want to increase their knowledge. They have the needs of, or they have the necessity of acquire, of learn a second layer, a language. It also exists activities associated with learning that some have been used in second language teaching in schools and have a tendency, when successful, to result in more knowledge about the language as demonstrated in tests than fluency, okay. And also, when we talk about activities related with or associated with acquisition, are those that experienced by the young child, and by analogy, okay. So those are some kind of activities. And I realized that exists acquisition barrier, okay. I realized that it is totally normal that people experience that L2 or second language is fundamentally different from their L1 first language, okay. It is totally normal when they are trying to learn a second language. They face off some struggling, and remember that they usually encounter the L2 or second language during their teenage or adult years. In using a second language, there are individuals who can achieve great expertise in the written language, but not the spoken language. That means that sometimes we can realize that when you are learning in second language, you can encounter with some troubles because you are going to feel afraid of spoken. And it has been demonstrated that students in their early teens are quicker and more effective than when they are learning second language. Because okay, for example, 7 years old, okay, we encountered that they used to be more effective because they don't feel afraid of making mistakes, or they don't feel afraid of or they don't create barrier or emotional reaction. And also adults can feel or afraid of demonstrate what they learn, okay. So I hope that the information that I try to transmit you was of helpful for you. Every time I try to talk with you in a comfortable manner. So this, due to the time, I can't I can talk more about this, but I hope that you will watch my video the next time. Okay? Bye bye.